Many viewers are asking this question, quite many. They ask, how do you talk to children about the war? How do we explain to them what's going on? To those children who are hiding with their parents in bomb shelters and the subway, how does one explain why there is bombing, why childhood has ended? And to other children whose childhood continues, who do not hear sirens and explosions, but see what's happening to their peers and ask, why is it so? And the main question is, how does one raise children at a time like this when wars and suffering seem never to end?
Children can understand.
Can they?
Yes, because they also fight with each other. Egoism, after all, works from a very young age. So there is nothing here that needs to be hidden from them. Indeed, if we don't bring up children correctly, then they, just like when they play as kids and want to take something away from each other and bully each other, so they continue into adulthood. And that's why we end up with wars as a result. Grown men no longer have sand shovels or sticks in their hands.
Toy guns.
Right. But now it's something serious. And that's when war begins. So what should we do? While you are still little, we say to the kids, we need to get you accustomed to be able to communicate, make peace, learn to compromise. Then you will not end up with such terrible big problems as those big men who unleash such wars. This is what happens when you don't listen to your mom.
Really?
Why? Is this not so?
Do you think that the kids will hear?
When they see this very thing,
Yes.
they get very impressed.
When they're in the midst of war, right?
Yes, exactly.
And they can be told just like this?
Tell them exactly like this, of course. This is true education. This is the basis of wartime education.
So don't dwell on enemy, hatred, against us.
Absolutely not. They will not understand it. They have no concept of it, no basis. But when you use such words like give or take, want to take, but they won't give, some kind of childlike concept, you can talk about it all in this manner. Isn't this how it really works? These games of oil, gas, all sorts of international relations, are they not the same children's games?
It has turned into something dangerous.
Well, yes, because they didn't stop it in time, couldn't explain it on time. That's what happens.
If possible, tell us again, what is the basis of parenting?
The basis of parenting, to teach from childhood and make them truly understand that you do not resolve disputes by force. Can't you convince them? If yes, great. If not, compromise.
The child should understand that disputes are not resolved by force?
They cannot be resolved by force, otherwise we will destroy each other. Can you imagine in this modern world?
How are disputes resolved? What should the child we are raising understand? How to explain to a child to resolve disputes?
Only by persuasion. Not coercing another person into peace. You know, there's an expression, peace by coercion. But rather when you discuss with each other how to achieve peace together, with mutual concessions, rather than the approach of, I am right and you are wrong, and now you will understand it.
Now you've said a very serious thing. You said that a child should be able to compromise.
Of course, this is the most important thing in education. Otherwise, what is all this education for? To teach how to hit first, harder, with more damage, but only in order to be able to stop and compromise.
This is the most difficult thing, in my opinion. This is it.
Of course.
For children especially.
For children, because they have exposed egoism, small but revealed.
Straightforward, right?
Right.
There's no need for lawyers.
Nothing will help.
Just like this, so you propose to teach concessions, just like this, right? To teach every child so he can yield to others.
Everything needs to be explained.
Everything needs to be explained.
And lessons, of course, studying with them. Let them sit in a circle and engage in practical lessons.
If there's a dispute, let's sort it out, right?
Yes.
And on, how to not fight but make peace, right? This is such a long process.
Otherwise, it will take even longer.
Yes, otherwise it only gets worse.
Yes.
And this can be explained both to those who, roughly speaking, are under fire and
To everyone. It all depends on the words, vocabulary, and expressions you use. You are explaining this to the ego. which is the same in a small child as it is in a grown-up old man. It is the same egoism.
I see. The main problem here is to train teachers.
This is your task.
Our task. It's your task as well, by the way.
I've done what I could.
It is those who can teach what it means to come to peace, what annulment means.
Yes, this is most important.